everybody, and welcome in to the First and Football Podcast. Today is a special Thursday edition episode on November 30th, 2023. Sorry for the delay, everybody. Yesterday got a little hectic as myself. I was celebrating a birthday. That was a fun time. So we're still here to bring you the content today before the Thursday night games. I am here, Justin Sutton in Green Bay, with my fellow host, Mike Rosenthal.
What's up in the old pickup today? Right outside of work. Took a little break here.
No dad van
I'm
today?
excited. Nah, no dad van. The wife had to take Lennon to his 4-month appointment. So if she
Congrats
takes him,
on the
I get
4
to
months to the little guy.
yeah, man. And then I get to drive the truck and show off.
There you
So.
go. You get to drive it once in a while. That's what makes it yours, right?
Heck yeah, dude.
Yeah, exactly.
The seat's worn in. Dude, week 13. Right now our picks, I have 41 correct picks so far since we've started this podcast, and you have 40. So I still got one little wiggle room.
That's all right. I had 2 notches of wiggle room all year until I started fucking around and finding out. So
yeah.
We're gonna get back to playing it smart and safe here. Unlike my completely wrong prediction of Justin Fields having a big day on that Monday night game, let's just dive right into that dumpster fire of a game. I mean, let's not spend a lot of time on that. Justin Fields was terrible. I mean, he was good enough to get the win, but man, it's like I thought he was going to torch that Vikings defense with his legs. And it's like every time he seemed to get loose, I seemed to hear on the call, oh, the ball's out. It's like, I mean, left and right, both teams just kept shooting themselves in the foot. It was a really boring game to listen to. I feel bad for the people who actually had to watch this game. I heard it was horrendous. And, you know, apparently Josh Dobbs is no longer the pastronaut, but more or less just the astronaut.
Yeah.
That was pretty rough, man.
Yeah, man. It was. I tried watching some of that game. I ended up falling asleep. I
don't blame you.
I think it comes back to Josh Dobbs is really good at just playing ball and playing backyard football. And then when it comes to structure, there's a reason that the Steelers dropped him or didn't re-sign him.
Yeah.
There's a reason teams dropped him. Is he a serviceable backup? Yes. But, I mean, you know, the fact that they're questioning if they're going to go back to him again kind of annoys me a little bit. You got to give him at least, like, I mean, what do you think? You're going to go win a Super Bowl right now with your team?
He's not going to give you the Nick Foles treatment. Okay, number one, you're not that good. Number two, you're not close enough, like the way they were with Carson Wentz, the Eagles in 2017. That is, but it's like, dude, you traded for the guy. You've seen what he can do. Who knows what Jaren Hall can do with their rookie backup quarterback? It's like, dude, just give the guy a shot. You know, what do you got to lose? See what he can do with Justin Jefferson, man. Like,
in their defense, though, I mean, if they do think the season is in shambles, what do they have to lose by letting that rookie quarterback play?
Yeah, get a higher pick too. Hopefully, you lose some more games.
Yeah, but the team that won didn't score any touchdowns.
Exactly,
so that's pretty fun. That was probably the second worst game of the week, next to the Giants-Patriots game.
Yeah, that game was rough. I mean, like 2 drop pick sixes. I'm just getting just talking about it. But let's get into.
I do want to give
a prime
one
time
more
game
last
that's
credit.
A little interesting.
Time out.
Oh, my bad.
One more last credit to the Bears defense looks somewhat nice.
Yes, it does.
Something to look forward to for them. But they still stink. Carry on.
Yeah. Let's get to another primetime game, a standalone game here that's actually supposed to be a little interesting with this Thursday night matchup we got here. Seahawks at the Cowboys. And the fact that it is at Dallas, that, in my opinion, spells doom for Seattle. I mean, if this was in Seattle, I would be half tempted to take the Hawks here, but I don't know, man. Dallas is a beast at home, like especially at home. They are incredibly tough to beat. And the Seahawks are kind of reeling right now. They're definitely a borderline team. And I kind of think that the Cowboys are going to do what they do to borderline teams, which is eviscerate them.
Yeah, this I think will be the first win for Dallas against a team with a winning record. But like I've said in previous conversations, I don't think the Seahawks are a good team for having a winning record. And Geno Smith is obviously proving that he has major regression after having that. I think last season he had the highest completion percentage in the league.
They gave him comeback player of the year. He didn't come back from nothing but the bench for a reason.
Yeah. I wouldn't even be surprised if Drew Lock came in. I mean, if they lose this game, like, what do they have to lose, you know?
I mean, he's so bad, but Pete Carroll loves him, his Drew Lock, and you know that. I mean,
dude, I love Lock's energy, though, man. That dude's, he's got fun energy on the sideline.
That video of him rapping Young Jeezy on the sideline, dude, that's forever goated. That's a classic, man. Like, I get what you mean. He's got a vibe. I get it.
So I got some notes that I spent probably a little bit too much time on this. Maybe I'm on the Cowboys train, but
That's all right. I
so
might have hopped on that bandwagon this week here, but I'll let you go first.
so Seahawks are at the bottom of the league for rushing defenses. So Tony Pollard should have himself. Tony Pollard's been getting progressively a little bit better from what he was in the first half of the season. Granted, Dallas really only plays bad teams, uh, but hopefully that gives Pollard the confidence to get the ball moving. And I mean, he had a couple nice runs. He had, I think, almost 100 yards in a tutter last week. So the Cowboys are averaging 31.5 points per game and only giving up 16.8.
Yeah.
Where, I mean, and then the Seahawks are averaging 20.8 points per game and giving up 22.6. Dallas is going to cover this not -9 line.
Yeah, I think they will as well. I think that Seattle keeps it interesting in the first half. I think they keep it close, honestly. But I think the second half, Dallas just blows the doors open. I mean, I think it's going to turn.
Really?
I think Seattle keeps it close, man. Pete Carroll's an experienced coach. Their passing defense is not terrible. Seattle.
Their passing defense is who's that rookie? What's that rookie's name? Uh,
Um,
shoot,
Witherspoon.
Witherspoon. That dude
Yeah,
is nice with it.
yeah, he is. He is. And then do they got Tariq Woolen last year? He seems to be a pretty good corner. Like,
Yeah,
dude,
they have a
I'm really
good pass
hoping that your
D.
prediction of a good rushing game for Tony Pollard is accurate because I have the unfortunate pleasure of facing off against CeeDee Lamb this week in fantasy football. So I'm really hoping it's a Tony Pollard running the ball kind of night.
I got the Dak CD stack.
Oh,
So
I'll take the Dak touchdowns to Jake Ferguson. That'll be okay.
no, I want that. Give me, man, that Dak CD stack. I think I have close to 200 more points than anybody in our league
Oh yeah, it's
this
odds
season
are
so
if you
far.
have
It's no,
that Dak CD stack, you're gonna win the league. It's crazy right
hope.
now. But let's get
Hey,
back to real football here. Yeah, I think
um,
Dallas covers this line also. I like them to stomp the Cowboys. I mean the Seahawks by about 10 points. So that's
and
my
then
take on
Kenneth
that.
Walker, I don't think is playing.
Yeah, he's doubtful. I don't think he's gonna
So
play.
yeah, um, and then I guess one big shout out is to Bland with
Deron
his five
Bland,
pick sixes.
crazy record.
And then one other stat that that I liked was the fact that the Cowboys have the highest pressure rate in the NFL, and Geno Smith got sacked 6 times last week. So fire up Micah Parsons because he's going to be just blowing through that line. And I think Seattle lost their right tackle or something like that. Or they lost an O lineman last week.
The
So
writing is on the walls.
yeah, dude. I mean, the Cowboys are being handed games right now.
Pretty much. I mean,
So
you can only play who's on your schedule, but like, dude, the Cowboys got a cakewalk of a schedule right now. I'm kind of on the Dallas train a little bit in the terms of like, dude, they look really good. I think they're going to make a nice playoff run. I just don't think that they're gonna fail to meet expectations yet again because I don't think they're really truly getting the battle tests that they need to face in the regular season so that they're well prepared for it in the postseason.
yeah,
And
I mean,
I think this kind of cupcake of a schedule here is doing them a disservice. And when they go face some real competition, they might squeak through one playoff game. I don't know if they're getting through two.
so Dak Prescott, I think, what does he have? I'm sorry, I don't know the stats off my head. That's like 15 or 17 touchdowns and 2 interceptions in the past 5 games, something of that nature. That's absurd. The dude is balling out. He's the best quarterback in the league right now. Maybe next to Brock Purdy, who's been playing phenomenal as well. But the Cowboys have the real test before the playoff starts, and it's going to benefit them. They have to play the Eagles, the Bills, the Dolphins, and the Lions.
Well,
Those are real teams.
let's put it this way. Going back to Dak here, as far as the last 5 games, I don't have that exact stat here, but just this season alone, he's just a tick under 3,000 yards passing. He's got 23 touchdowns and 6 interceptions, and that's just throwing the ball.
Yeah.
We're not talking rushing yards here and rushing stats. I mean, if we're talking rushing stats on the year, he's got 150 rushing yards on the year and another 2 more touchdowns. So he's got 25 total touchdowns and 6 interceptions.
Let me see this. So Dak
I mean,
last 5 games. So it's
if Dak goes on,
four.
if Dak continues on his tear here for the next few games of their schedule, I hate to say it, but I think he's going to be firmly in the MVP conversation, and
So
undeservedly, in my opinion.
he's got 4, 8, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 touchdowns and 2 interceptions thrown in the last 5 games.
That's
He
crazy.
had 3 of those were 300 plus yard games, one 400-yard game, and then one 189-yard game. But man, that's an insane stat line.
That's almost as insane as that's almost as insane as having 6 teams on bye here in Week 13. The Bills, the Bears, the Raiders, the Vikings, the Giants, and the Ravens. It's criminal. Like, not only are you taking away teams this late in the year, but you're taking away good teams too, like fun to watch teams. Like, dude, people like watching the Ravens. People like watching the Bills. Like, I'm sure the Raiders Nation is having a lot more fun watching the Raiders right now that Josh McDaniels is gone. Like, it just sucks for content wise, entertainment, and not only that, but the fantasy football world. It's like we kind of pay their bills, all those fantasy football players. Like, we do a lot of support there and
the fantasy footballers were talking about that.
Yeah, it's like, what are you doing putting buys this late in the year, man? Like, you should have a hard cap, but like no buys after like week 11.
But, yeah, I mean, well, the Steelers had their bye week 4 or 5. I mean, now they're coming into, if they make the postseason, man, they've had no rest.
Beat up, yeah,
it's a crazy discrepancy. Especially, I hate to see teams like the Bills. Okay, now they have a good chance to reset. They're still in the race,
right?
And then the Ravens, it's like they're dominating, and now they get a chance to rest to come back even healthier. It's like, well, this doesn't seem very. But I mean, you can only take the schedule that you're given. So,
exactly,
like you were saying earlier.
Exactly.
But I mean, sometimes those breaks, sometimes that kills momentum. So who knows what's going to happen with that? But it does stink for us fantasy people, especially when we got 2 more weeks basically of regular season and playoffs.
And plus, like I said, just for actual entertainment content purposes, you're taking away good teams and leaving us with more bad teams to watch. Just kind of like, come on, if you're going to put teams on bye like this late in the year, like it's hard to decipher who's going to be where this late in the season. But in the same token, it's like you kind of have a decent idea. Like you can schedule games a little bit. I mean, bye weeks a little bit better in my opinion. But with that being said, do you want to move into some major headlines here? Or did you have any more thoughts on that?
I guess as far as games go this weekend, it just pinged an interest in my head of the Eagles. How we were talking about them, 49ers Eagles is going to be awesome. But we'll talk about that on Friday.
The best game of the week. Oh yeah.
The biggest headline, I guess, that popped off today just now was the Von Miller. Who knows what actually happened, but I guess it's a good thing it happened on a bye week so they can figure out what happened with some investigation. But I mean, if the allegations are true, the dude may not be available. So
yeah, I did not read into the allegations. I just know that the broad allegation is he allegedly assaulted a pregnant woman. So that's an interesting subject there. But another piece of headline here is the Cardinals have actually released. They waived Zach Ertz. That's pretty wild to me.
Per his request.
I think he's hoping for a little hometown reunion in Philly there and kind of hop on their little Super Bowl train run. That's what I think he's trying to do. But
that'd be nice.
I don't know, man. He must be close to hanging up the cleats then, in my opinion, if this is the move he wants. Because, dude, if he wanted, he could just go ball for the Cardinals right now, and somebody would give him a contract in the offseason.
Like he could be on the verge, like you were saying, and be like, "Hey, I'm done after this year. Can you let me go?"
Yeah. He just wants to go get a ring, I'm sure.
Yeah.
That'd be my guess. But another big headline here is Jonathan Taylor is going to be sidelined for 2 to 3 weeks due to surgery he had to have on his hand. And that's crazy. He suffered this injury supposedly to his thumb against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers last week. And he finished the game with that injury and seemed fine. Then all of a sudden, an MRI on Monday revealed that he needs surgery. I did see that he is not headed to IR, which is good news. But, man, that's a huge... You kind
of want him on IR, though. For fantasy purposes, you want to know, is he going to be available for the fantasy playoffs or not?
Well, I get the feeling the second he's like cleared to go, like it's just going to be picked right back up where he left off. It's not like the PUP situation earlier in the year where he's got to work himself back into football shape. He's been playing for the last like 8 weeks. You know what I mean?
The problem with that is, if we're specifically talking fantasy purposes, having that in question, you don't want to have any questions. And that 3 or 4 weeks is coming on your championship week, probably.
And I get that. And he's the caliber of player where, like, if he is going to make his debut again, it's like you kind of have to start him. I mean, like, I'm probably in the best case scenario here. Like, I am fortunate enough as a Jonathan Taylor owner, I have Zach Moss.
That's
So
unfortunate right now, but
yes,
come week
but like you're
17, if you're in
saying,
the
yes,
championship,
then I'm gonna have to sit here and debate who do I start when I agree, but I do get the feeling it's gonna be one of those things where like he's out for 2 weeks, maybe three, like they said, and then he's gonna be right back in the mix. I don't this isn't like anything
yeah,
crazy. It's just his thumb, you know.
I
I mean, it's useful, you know what I'm, but it's not like he rolled his ankle again or something. You know what I mean? It's
I
not
think it
gonna get
also
a
depends on their record. What's their record going to be going into when he
yes.
comes back? Is it going to be
Yes.
worth it, or say, hey, you know what? Screw it, heal up. This year's been a clusterfuck.
I think the playoff
Zach Moss
picture,
is
yeah, definitely plays a part, like you're saying. That's huge because they're in the divisional race right now.
yeah,
And they
and
play
I think they're in
Tennessee
a
this
wild
week.
card spot, so
I think they're
as
in the
well.
hunt technically. I don't know if they're in
Oh,
it, are
really?
they?
I can look right now. Playoffs. I think they are. They hold the third, or is it? There's 7 seeds, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So Indy
Yeah,
holds the
they are
last.
currently at number 7. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Speaking
So,
of number 7 seeds, look who's right there on their heels at number 8, the Texans.
oh man, I hope. And I mean, you got to watch out for the number 6, Cleveland, dude. Joey Flacco, maybe quarterback on Sunday. Watch out.
I
I
don't know,
saw a funny
man.
poll
I think Cleveland's going
today.
to drop out. Hot take.
I saw a funny poll today on Twitter. It's like, who's better right now, Ben Roethlisberger or Joey Flacco?
Oh my
And it was like
goodness.
90% Ben Roethlisberger.
That's
Because Joey Flacco, when
gold.
he played last year, he was ass.
That's oh my god, that's way too good. Oh, well, you
Yeah.
got anything else for this show, Mike, or should we go ahead and close up shop here?
Yeah, we should close up. I got a bunch of work to do.
Yep, I gotta get my butt moving too. Still got work around the house to do before I take my butt to work later. So, with that being
All right,
said,
man.
thanks for listening, everybody. If you're new to the podcast, welcome. If you're still here, been here, we appreciate the support. Go ahead and hit that like button, please. We appreciate it greatly. It gets the videos rolling, the algorithm and whatnot. Subscribe and turn on those notifications so you don't miss an episode. We will have a
Because
new
we don't know
episode
when we're
for
going to
you.
upload.
Yeah, exactly. Right. I mean, we try to have general guidelines, but
Yeah.
we should definitely have a new episode up for you guys. Our pre episode tomorrow night.
Yeah, late Friday we'll record. Or
Mm-hmm.
Friday evening we'll record. It'll be up late and then available all day Saturday so you can hear our takes on Sunday's games.
Exactly. All right, everybody. With that being said, hope everybody has a great rest of their week, and hopefully Thursday night football is not a complete snoozer.
Hope so, man.
See you, everybody.
Later.